Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that literally changes the game for how we operate at work. We're talking about a massive, yet severely under-discussed leadership multiplier. I mean, just think about the standard management playbook for a second. We're always told to, optimize our calendars, hold more alignment meetings, and juggle these endless streams of communication. And the result? Deep, profound exhaustion and burnout. Most of us are honestly just treading water in this giant sea of pings and admin overhead. But what if we took that entire standard playbook and just tossed it out the window for something way more dynamic, completely natural, and incredibly effective? Well, that is exactly what we're getting into today.
So, want to lead like a pro? I mean, that's pretty much the dream for anyone stepping into a management role, right? You want to guide your people, hit your targets, and be seen as someone who truly gets it. But let's get real about what it actually takes to reach that pro level. The gap between wanting to be a great leader and actually being one is usually jam-packed with the friction of daily admin tasks, constantly putting out fires, and navigating office politics. Reaching that elite level absolutely isn't about reading another textbook on delegation or, downloading some shiny new scheduling app. There's actually a highly specific, actionable state of mind that bridges the gap between just managing tasks and truly leading people.
And here it is, the trick nobody is talking about: flow. It's the hidden engine behind top-tier performance, but you almost never hear it mentioned in standard corporate training. Why? Well, because modern corporate environments are pretty much designed to destroy it. Between open-plan offices, nonstop instant messages, and those back-to-back 30-minute meetings, our days are totally fragmented. We talk endlessly about time management, but we rarely talk about the actual cognitive state you need to be in to execute flawlessly. Flow is that state. It is the ultimate competitive advantage that lets you cut right through the noise and operate at your absolute peak.
All right, let's jump into section 1, defining the flow state.
Basically, flow is when time just flies by, and those really tough tasks suddenly feel easy. We've all felt this at least once, right? Think back to a time you were tackling a tricky problem, and suddenly all the friction just vanished. You weren't fighting the work anymore, the clock totally disappeared, and before you knew it, 3 hours had passed, but it genuinely felt like 30 minutes. So what's actually happening in your brain when this happens? Neurobiologically, it's called transient hypofrontality. I know, it's a mouthful, but let's break it down. Transient means temporary. Hypo means less, and frontality refers to your prefrontal cortex. That's the part of your brain responsible for complex decision-making, overthinking, and self-doubt. And it literally just powers down for a bit. Your inner critic goes completely silent. You're not worrying about failing, you're just doing. Those tough tasks that usually drain you suddenly feel effortless because your brain has pushed all its resources into the present moment. Moving right along to section 2, benefits of flow leaders. When leaders operate in flow, they turn into absolute powerhouses. And the crazy thing is, that impact ripples right outward. Number 1, you inspire your teams. When you're completely dialed in and working without friction, your energy is literally contagious. Teams unconsciously mirror that exact neurobiological state. Number 2, you make way smarter decisions. In flow, your brain's pattern recognition goes through the roof. Because you aren't bogged down by distractions, you process information faster and connect these seemingly random dots to find the clear path forward. And number 3, you crush stress. And this isn't just a psychological thing, it's a massive neurochemical shift. When you hit flow, stress hormones like cortisol get flushed right out of your system, and they're replaced by this powerful cocktail of performance chemicals like dopamine, endorphins, and anandamide. The difficulty of the work is just neutralized, leaving zero room for stress. Okay, section 3, visualizing flow in action. Picture Lionel Messi out on the soccer field. Or, honestly, think about a high-end chef in a chaotic, screaming kitchen. These are two completely different worlds, right? High-stakes international sports versus the intense, heat-filled chaos of culinary service. Yet, the underlying mechanism driving their peak performance is exactly the same. When Messi is weaving through defenders, he's definitely not overthinking where to put his feet. When a chef is perfectly timing a dozen dishes during a dinner rush, they aren't consciously thinking about how to hold their knife. They've internalized these skills so deeply that instinct just takes over. Now, bring that right into the boardroom. A business leader in flow reads the room, manages tricky team dynamics, and executes high-stakes strategy with that exact same effortless instinct. Flow isn't just for athletes or chefs. It is the universal blueprint for peak human performance, no matter what your arena is. And finally, section 4, level up your leadership. So are you going to chase flow and watch your team completely thrive? If you want to level up, you have to prioritize this state, and not just for yourself. It means intentionally designing your environment, aggressively killing distractions, and creating that psychological focus so time flies and the hard stuff feels easy. But here's the real game changer. Master leaders take this a step further. They fiercely protect the flow state of their team. They shield their people from that constant barrage of unnecessary interruptions, so everyone can operate at their peak. So I'm going to leave you with this one question to think about today. Will you keep just managing your team's time, or will you actually start leading their attention? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.